Good afternoon, I'm Denise Tan, and this is One News Now. One of the suspects behind the bomb attack in Mindanao State University, Marawi, has been arrested. The suspect, Jafar Gamo Sultan, alias Jaf Kurot, was captured on Wednesday during an operation in Barangay Dulay proper in Marawi. The AFP said Sultan is an accomplice of a certain Omar who, according to witnesses, placed the improvised explosive device at the MSU gymnasium. Other suspects are still at large and a massive manhunt is still on. On December 3, a bomb went off in MSU's Dimapura gym while a Catholic mass was being held there. 4 people died and at least 45 people were injured in that blast. The MV Kapitan Felix Oca has departed Manila for El Nido in Palawan for the Christmas convoy to the West Philippine Sea. The mothership, carrying 40 volunteers, will embark on a civilian-led supply mission to WPS and will join several smaller boats later. The main ship is loaded with essential supplies which will be delivered to fishermen and frontliners in parts of the Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone. The MVP group of companies, including Meralco, Smart PLDT, Metro Pacific, and Makati Med, donated provisions for distribution. One News anchors Ed Lingao and Gretchen Ho are joining that Christmas convoy. Kaya makabalita na tayo ngayon kay Ed. Bok, kamusta? Handa ka na ba at nakaimpake ka na nga ba?
Good. Nakakalat pa yung gamit eh. Right now, I'm still packing. It's still a lot to pack because it is going to be a 2-day voyage. And we are expecting, of course, there to be no cell phone signal. And so we have to prepare for satellite transmission. We're doing it 2 ways. One is with the Starlink satellite internet, which will be loading separately. The other one, the other option, the second option, will be with the use of basically a satellite phone. Here, I have a satellite phone here from Smart with extra batteries and a headset. That's going to be the alternate means of communication in case the satellite internet does not work and we cannot go on video calls. So that's the way we intend to be in touch with you guys. Aside from that, of course, a rugged laptop that's basically waterproof and solar panels for charging in case we run into any trouble, and solar lights. Where are you? There you are. Solar lights. Oh, cannot see. There you go. Solar lights. And some provisions as well, just for emergencies, like high energy protein biscuits and a mini stove.
So madami-dami pala ang bit-bit mo, Bok, no? Pero Bok, alam naman natin na...
Also a drone.
Oh, mas madami ka pang bibit-bitin, but of course, everything is essential. Pero Bok, mabalik ako, no? Alam natin, this is a historic moment for Philippine television. First time nga that you and Gretchen Ho will attempt to broadcast live from the West Philippine Sea. How did you get in? Dahil ang balita ko, instrumental ka daw dun sa effort for freedom to broadcast. Just tell us about the back and forth with the National Security Council.
Well, I don't know if we were the deciding factor, but I'd like to think that we helped in getting the decision made. Because as late as Monday and Tuesday, the National Security Council refused to have any live broadcasts from the West Philippine Sea, from the convoy. In fact, if you do recall, all previous media trips to Ayungin and Pag-asa Island, they refused to have any live broadcasts from the media until they get back to Luzon. So that's a pretty far distance coming back. So until Tuesday, that was the rule. No live broadcast. Tuesday night, I was able to talk to National Security Advisor, Deputy Director Jonathan Malaya, and my main argument was you want to show the Chinese and any other country that claims to have a jurisdiction over the area that there is freedom of navigation there, but I think you'd also want to show there's also freedom of broadcasting and airing and expression, especially since it is part of our exclusive economic zone. That, more than anything, should be a convincing factor. And he said that, it did sound convincing to him that Tuesday night, and he said he will get back to us the next day. And the next day, the decision came down to allow, number one, broadcasting during primetime newscasts at night, and number two, broadcasting live from Lawak and Patag Island. These are Spratly Island Group features where we have detachments. So in effect, they gave in to the bare minimum request that we gave them on Tuesday night.
Pero Bok, alam naman natin, it is like what we mentioned, the first time to broadcast live from the West Philippine Sea. Like you mentioned as well, to assert the freedom to broadcast dun sa ating EEZ. Pwera dun sa baka mawala ng signal and all that. What else are your expectations of this?
Well, there are other things on the table as well. The most obvious thing being the possibility. I'm not saying probability. I'm just saying the possibility of actions by the Chinese Coast Guard and the Chinese Maritime Militia that could hinder the movement of the convoy. We have seen that, and by the vessel that was leased by the Philippine Coast Guard, we've seen our vessels being posted down and being bumped by militia and Coast Guard vessels of China. So we don't know how the Chinese will be reacting to this particular Christmas convoy. We do hope that with the transparency that the government has tried to put in place, the Chinese are well aware of what's happening. They're well aware that this is a peaceful convoy and that we intend to bring Christmas goods to our people in the area. So there should be no room and no reason for conflict or friction between the two sides. Of course, that's whether that is the case is still to be seen.
Pero kailan nga ba ang larga at gaano kalaki yung sasakyan yung barko? And officially, kailan at anong oras kayo pupunta dun sa Palawan?
We're flying off to Palawan tonight at around 7:30. But the boat itself that left the South Harbor this morning will be arriving in Palawan on Saturday night or Sunday, and we will be boarding the Captain Felix Oka, that's the mothership, on Sunday. I think Sunday dawn. From El Nido, it's 24-hour trip to Ayungin or the vicinity of Ayungin, and from Ayungin it's another 5 hours trip down to Patag Island. So it's going to be a long trip basically, and we expect to be back. Hope to be back by Tuesday night.
Alright, Bok Ed Lingao, One News Editor, maraming salamat sa oras mo at syempre, ingat kayo sa biyahe nyo. Again, for the first time, One News anchors Ed Lingao and Gretchen Ho will attempt to broadcast live from the West Philippine Sea. That's as the civilian-led Christmas convoy sets sail this weekend. Catch the live reports and updates here on One News and One PH. These historic reports are also available on Signal TV, Channel 250 HD, and Channel 8 SD, and on Signal Play streaming. Time to take a quick break. One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Denise Tan. The Philippine Coast Guard says it would be, quote, very serious in investigating a China flag bulk carrier. The said vessel reportedly hit a fishing boat in Occidental Mindoro on Tuesday. Based on the account of fishermen, they had just laid out a payaw or a fishing device while in the waters of Paluan, Occidental Mindoro. This was when their boat was hit and left to drift aimlessly on water while the Chinese crew just looked on. The fishermen took note of the vessel's name as MV Taihang 8. Sea conditions were reportedly moderate to rough at the time of the incident. The PCG says it is already coordinating with the Safety Administration of China and has asked for the identification of the ship's owner. The PCG has also written about the incident to Indonesia, where the foreign vessel was reportedly headed. In an interview with Radio 5's Ted Filon and DJ Chacha, the PCG urged the 5 fishermen involved in the incident to file for damages to speed up the probe.
Pagka-aksidente, ni-encourage natin na mag-settle. Kung mahabol po sila through damages, ay mas maganda po. Sapagkat alam niyo naman, pagdating sa criminal liability, magiging napakahirap ito at magiging napakatagal.
It's home stretch and preparations for the Christmas convoy to the West Philippine Sea scheduled this weekend. Wrapped in Christmas boxes, donations have been loaded on Mothership MV Kapitan Felix Oca and are now ready for the long voyage to the Kalayaan group of islands. Sacks of rice, canned goods, Noche Buena packs, hygiene kits, toys, solar lamps, and even Christmas belens will make their way to our soldiers and fishing communities in the West Philippine Sea. The main vessel, with a capacity of at least 130 persons, will be carrying both supplies and volunteers and will temporarily dock in El Nido, Palawan. It will be joined by several other smaller boats for a 3-day voyage that begins on December 10, International Human Rights Day. While there are risks of confrontation with the Chinese Coast Guard, Batangas fisherman Roberto Alerosa will still join dozens of others for the Christmas convoy.
May nagtanong na sa akin, hindi ba kayo natatakot? Ay, sino bang hindi matatakot? Pero sabi ko, hindi ba rin matakot, huwag lang maduwag. At mas nakakatakot yung agawan ka ng iyong sariling bansa. Bansa, hindi ang inaagaw dito, hindi lang naman territorial waters. Kapag sila nagtagumpay doon, buong bansa aagawin nila. Mas nakakatakot yun.
Also joined in the Christmas convoy are One News editor Ed Lingao and anchor and woman in action Gretchen Ho. Here's Gretchen sharing reminders to journalists who will join the historic voyage.
They had some things that, they told us not to say, for example, the number of PCG vessels. That's highly confidential because we don't want to compromise their security. But apart from that, they also told us not to shoot our government and military assets in the Patag and Lawak Islands so as not to give information unnecessarily.
For the first time, One News anchors Gretchen Ho and Ed Lingao will attempt to broadcast live from the West Philippine Sea. That's as the civilian-led Christmas convoy sets sail this weekend. Catch the live reports and updates here on One News and 1PH. These historic reports are also available on Signal TV Channel 250 HD and Channel 8 SD and on Signal Play Streaming. One News Now will be back at 3:15 p.m. Join us again later. I'm Denise Tan. We are One News.